Yo, I am Bongo Ideas, and welcome to Critique of the Week. On Critique of the Week, we pay attention to all the trending issues that have transpired within the week. We critique where we need to critique, we praise where we need to praise. But the bottom line is we pay attention to all the tiny details and we call a spade a spade. On this show, we choose conviction over convenience. This week, we are paying attention to these issues. One, the flooding issue in Kumasi. We pay attention to how come Kumasi was able to get flooded. And secondly, we pay attention to the flooding incident in Accra, all over Accra. There was mass flooding in selected areas and all that. I'll tell you, we're looking at the Kwadwo Sheldon, Shatta Wale beef. Was it really necessary? What was the essence? Was it planned? Was it scripted? What is really happening there? Finally, we're paying attention to Bawumia's comment on the Cedi appreciation. Forgive me, he was trying to attribute the appreciation of the Cedi against the lawyer to the MPP. We look at the pros and cons of what he said and whether he has a point at all. Then finally the raid of Wontumi is home. So yeah, welcome to Critique of the Week once again. I'm Bongo Ideas. Let's do it. For the first time, I never knew that Kumasi could actually get flooded. Yeah, well, there's a video all over the internet where some part or section of the Kumasi metropolis was actually flooded for the first time. Kumasi people always the Braxi, Kumasi they be well structured. We never the experience flood. They always try to make fun of Accra. But for the first time, we saw flooding in Kumasi. What is happening to Kumasi? The garden city is looking like a pale shadow of itself. What happened for there? And apart from the flooding itself, Kumasi has become so congested, so crowded, so disorganized. When you look at Kumasi from afar, it looks like a place without a leader. For real. When you look at Kumasi from afar, it doesn't look like a well-structured society. And the people are selling everywhere. There's chaos everywhere. People are just going about their activities. There's no discipline, on the road, off the road, in the markets. Like, it just looks like, a very disorganized society. I'm not the bab. What happened for there? There used to be a mayor, Kojo Bones, who was, on top of issues. I don't know what happened to, recent mayors and recent regional ministers. Kumasi is looking at like a pale shadow of itself. It doesn't look attractive anymore. A whole garden city, there's no garden. There is no structure. There's nothing to be proud of. It just be vibes. So, nanani, pia, pia. Bro, oka pia, oka, so nana, about so. From Otikokosu to Otinsus. Bro, it be so, embarrassing. Because if flooding starts to occur in Kumasi, what will Kumasi people get to brag about? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing they have over Accra. Nothing they there. If they Accra with them, they talk about Kumasi. We think say Kumasi be some city. Kumasi is not even a city, bro. In the right context of the word, there's only one city in Ghana. That is Accra. The rest are not cities. That can they self not be city. It's about structure. It's about structure, amenities. Is the city catering to the modern needs of the people? Do we have the necessary I mean, do you have the necessary things in place to make the city work? A city is supposed to work on its own. A city is like a system, a machine. It needs to work. Kumasi does not work. What should that Kumasi works? There's a systemic problem with Kumasi that you guys need to deal with. That's why anytime I'm so hard on Kumasi because I feel like with all the natural resources there and when the leaders you guys have with your traditional leader and all that, Kumasi should actually be like the number one city in Ghana. But they look like some BBB, it does not even attract investors. Nothing. And now flooding has also become part of it. Into Moko Swaka, Pia, now, and I say, you guys are going to do something about it because media, right, bro? I never thought that Kumasi could actually get flooded because Ali, nothing did already. Now they get flooded today, Charlie. Now let's come to Accra. Accra, the flood that occurs, it's perennial. Accra is dysfunctional in certain places, right? You never hear that flooding has occurred in cantonments, airport, residential, ridge, even Dansuma, and even Tema because of the structure. because of the structure, the structures work. But here, it doesn't work. We have town and city planning and spatial planning, and those people, they don't do any shit. People build anyhow. You know, when you look at the flooding now, it occurs right below the Ebri Mountains, Antan, Oyarifa, Adenta, Lakeside, it's Legon. You know why? Because originally those places were not supposed to be residential areas. People are now building on the hill, on the Ebri Hill. Ebri Hill is supposed to be a reserve, a forest reserve, an ecological zone that oversees the plains of Accra. Accra is a plain place. Accra is not mountainous. Accra is plain. The only mountainous place that is very closer to Accra is the Ebri Mountains. Right? So if you guys are going there, you guys are buying the place, and you guys are building and deforestating the whole place, how do you expect the people down here to survive? How do you expect people down here to survive? Adento Yarifa, those places are not supposed to be occupied. And even if they were going to be occupied, they were supposed to be structured in a way that when the water comes down from the Ebri Mountains, it flows directly into a river and a tributary or something. It goes straight to where it's supposed to go to. But these estate developers have, they've found a way to build houses in waterways. They've oh, bro, I am yes, sir. At the end of the day, the water cannot even flow. How do you expect people to survive? They are going to fill gutters and build and sell it to people, and people buy it, and they'll build their houses on it. And because we don't have authorities checking that, that's why it is happening. Accra is not supposed to be experiencing flood. Yeah, we know even New York flooding occurs, but this kind of flooding is very, very avoidable. It is due to human negligence. It is not even due to natural disaster or anything. If flooding occurs in any part of the world, we know that it's due to some natural disaster, something that they can't even manage. But here it is always due to human error, human negligence, human inconsistency and things. Right, yo. The Big Mountain has become, like a residential area. People are buying it because people with money want to live on top there and look at crap. Please, if you build in waterlogged areas, if you build in marshy areas, if you build in waterways, don't go and blame the government if your house is flooded, bro. You need to, when you're going to buy your land, you need to assess the area. Is it a place that is supposed to be habited? Leave the every place alone, bro. Shatta Wale could Sheldon give. I don't really know the head and toe of this. I don't really know why this should even be an issue because there was a flooding. You did a video complaining about the fact that your house has been submerged, right? So Tawali came online and said, "Okay, bro, let me help you. Let's offer a helping hand." You could actually be. I feel like it was Shatawale trying to use as a point of contact to reach out to people out there who, were in similar, dilemma. But Shatawale, Kwadwo Sheldon that we know is so full of himself, so arrogant, feels like he's on top of the world, and decided to, refuse everything. He didn't even refuse the help. He decided to go very hard at Shatta Wale, calling him names, telling him to go out there and go and look for his mother and take off his mother. Now, Kwadwo Sheldon did a video where they cry about flooding. The place that Kwadwo Sheldon lives is not supposed to be inhabited. That estate, the land and where it's situated, it's not actually a place for human beings to live. It's a waterway. Originally, that place is supposed to be reserved for the water flowing up from the Ibri to flow down and just go to its place. But some way, somehow, people found a way to build, elevate the place and, build. And that is where Kwadwo Sheldon is living. Now, that place has been flooded. This is not the first time that place got flooded. In the past 4 years, that place gets flooded anytime it rains very heavily. Kwadwo Sheldon has never shared a video of the place prior to this. So we know that it is a political move because he's an MPP person. So he will use that as a yardstick to bash the government. Right? So that was what he was trying to do. That was what he was trying to achieve. So when he came online and realized that Shatta Wale was actually sympathizing with him, he did not understand why Shatta Wale would sympathize with him when he was posting that video with a political motive. So Shatta Wale coming out to say, "Oh, let me help." But the Sheldon felt like, "Oh, telling me I didn't do my politics, so why they can't do like they can't help me?" That's how come there was an outburst and he decided to go so hard on Shatta Wale. Shatta Wale also came so hard at him. People on social media did not even agree with him. Then I don't know why it's even push Shatta Wale to enter into a studio and do a song for him in the first place? Like you.
Me I learn from Zongo, so watch your mouth when you take to the combo. How many times I go tell you Mutombo? I get the fans from Ghana to Congo. The fuck be bongo. Hey, icho to my Congo. Hey, musu to my politanke atomo. Content creator in a let to my bonyo. Hey, I will call to my halfway keeping. Nigga, you sleeping. Fuck your talk. If you know one piece, me, I want war. How many times you did knock my door? You make lucky say hit throw with it like you go see your saw. I dey respect protocol, but if you cross me, I go show you short gun. I get the boys if you do, we go show many guns. It be time we go tell patience where we get. This internet talk be too much. Try meet me again, you go suck your muma. I go bring the spirit from your susuma. There you go see, say I get that spirit where you take from.
Shatta Wale must know that, he's way bigger than that. He's way bigger than accommodating the lives of Kwadwo Sheldon. Kwadwo Sheldon has always disrespected him, directly and indirectly. Always provoked him. And I feel like it is a stunt, but it is a stunt that he uses, he pulls on Shatta Wale, and every day Shatta Wale falls for it. It's a bait. And anytime he baits, he there's something called rage baiting. Anytime he rage baits Shatta Wale also falls for it. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Shatta Wale cannot just move on and why do you have to do a song for Kwadwo Sheldon? That kind of energy, put it into doing a song against Galamsey or something. Like put out a song, do something. You about to enter the studio and when doing a song for Kwadwo Sheldon because of a flooding incident and you were trying to help. Yo, yeah, bro. The music industry itself lacks creativity and innovation and new sounds. And you, Shatta Wale, you've not done anything that we can be proud of in recent times, right? So if you want to use your energy to actually push for anything, it should be you bringing out something new. Not be I don't know anywhere in the world where a musician actually beefs a content creator and he actually does a song for him. Like it does not happen anywhere. So I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like people have elevated Kwadwo Sheldon to a certain level where you feel like he's that guy. He's not that guy. Kwadwo Sheldon is never that guy. I don't know how many times I should say. He's not that guy. He's not even learned enough on a lot of issues. Have you ever heard or read anything so learned and so articulate from Kwadwo Sheldon where you feel like, oh, this one they be very deep? Never. He has even said that he does not believe in technical analysis and research and he just likes surface stuff. When somebody posts something, he'll be like, press the next. He never reacts to the nitty gritty of the issue. He never pays attention to the pros and cons, the fact, the demerit and merit of issues. He never does that. And it's always about cruise. It's always about, let me say something out there. Bars, my nigga, bars, my nigga. It's never about what is the person saying, what is the import of the message, what is the like he does not pay he's not deep, bro. So I don't know why you people always the victim like he be some guy he never be that guy. He never be that guy. He's just fortunate to be in a space where he's not supposed to be there, but we don't have viable, alternatives and people are glued to him. And it is Ghana, bro. We don't have alternatives. Our creative industry is so rigid and fractured. It's boxed in the bar. So even if you have people who are way better than Kwadwo, they can't even come into the limelight because there are gatekeepers. Like it's very washed. It's not like America where somebody will be in his garage and just blow. In Ghana, it takes determination. It's a hard job. That's why Kwadwo Sheldon them stay there. That's why them stay there. Because in the first place, this should never be an issue. I don't know why Shatta Wale was wasting his energy. And Shatta Wale, I beg, talk say who the fuck be bongo, I beg. I beg. If you get your beef, make it not include me. Do your shit. Or else if I get into the studio, you go fill out. You're not gonna do studio and things. If I want to write my things, you go fill out with the bab. So do your thing. Who the fuck be bongo? Yeah, I'm bongo ideas, bro. Who the fuck are you, Shatta Wale, bro? Charlie, within a week we did and all then digital Bawumia came and was saying a whole lot of crazy stuff about the Cedi, and I mean the fact that the NPP were better managers of the economy and they supposedly laid the foundation for whatever that we are witnessing today. Although it's full of BS, people decided to react to me. I feel like when people like Bawumia say anything about the economy, people should never take them seriously because he does not have the moral authority. He does not have the intellectual capability. He does not have the you know I don't know. He lacks the capacity to speak on the economy. Because for someone who was touted as the economic messiah but came in and became the economic maguire, I don't know why you guys pay attention to him or even take his words seriously when it comes to the economy. Because everything he has said about the economy has come out as flawed. It has never yielded any results. So I don't know why people attribute some seriousness to what he said. Me, I just see him as a comedian. I feel like sometimes he just wants to say something for saying sake. Because if Bawumia is being truthful to himself, he would accept the fact that he was just not good at the job. Not just him, the whole MPP in the past 8 years were just not good at the job. They did not know anything about governance. They did not know anything about managing the economy. They just came in, occupied positions, and just did what they were just there. White elephants, round pegs, and square holes. They were just there doing their thing. No research backed try and error, whether it's worked or not, they do not care. At the end of the month, they take their money, they go. They weren't even perturbed about the plight of the people. It was never about the people, it was just about them, family, friends, concubines, that kind of movement. So I don't know why anybody or any sane person would take Baumia's comments on the economy seriously. I don't know why. I never know why, because anytime he's in power, he does not even speak about the economy. You took the dollar from 4 cedis to 17 cedis, and you never spoke about it. Even in the election, even in the lead up to the 2024 election, Bawumia never commented about the economy. He was touting digitalization, bold solutions, Ben, bro. Bold solutions, Ben. What kind of bold solutions are we talking about? In power, you're always talking about digitalization. Don't talk about the economy. All the thesis and all the scripts and all the knowledge you had about the economy, you came and you couldn't replicate anything. You couldn't take the dollar for you didn't nothing, bro. So I beg, make you not come here and come talk about you guys laying the foundation. I don't know why the NPP, if after 5 months, I don't know why the NPP in their mind think they qualify to speak about governance or anything related to that. You guys were very bad at the governance thing. You guys were not qualified to be leaders of this country. You guys were just not fit for a purpose. Right? So I don't know why you turn around and come like you know something about governance. Bro, we saw your record. Ghanaians actually had a verdict on you at the polls. If you should take the hardcore NPP people out, Ghanaians actually, had a verdict on you. They told you point blank that you guys were not good enough. Go home and go and sit down. Yashia, yatashi. You guys are not good, bro. So I don't know why you guys would turn around and come like good for oil, bro. What kind of bullshit is that? Gold for oil started in 2023. Up to 2024, what was the results, bro? What were the results? What were the results? You can't run the economy to an abyss and try to take credit for it. You borrowed more than any government in power. You went to the Eurobond. Eurobond, those when you go to the Eurobond, you are just putting your country in distress. You went to the IMF. You talking about the fact that you never go to the IMF, but you went to the IMF because you ran the economy down. Nothing was working, bro. After all that, you introduced a lot of gangantuan and crazy taxes. E-levy was the bane of the people. What kind of mismanagement is that? And Bawumia, you were the head of the EMT, Economic Management Team. You were the head. Don't come and say bullshit about the fact that you were just a vice president. Vice president, bro, you were the head of the Economic Management Team. As for the president, you know that he knew nothing about governance. He knew nothing about economy. You were the guy. You were his guy, the economic guy, the economic messiah, the touted professor. You had all the keys. At the point you said you arrested the dollar and gave the keys to the IGP. Where is it? Sloganeering and criticism, kinky party at the finance ministry because the dollar was at the time, it wasn't even gaining any substantial, increase against or appreciation against the dollar safe. But you guys were doing kinky party and celebrating it, blowing our money apart. And now you think you have the temerity, you have the audacity, you have the effrontery to speak about the economy. Bullshit, bro. What kind of conversation with that? What kind of conversation with that, bro? We are not in the age of 2020, 2004, where you guys can just come and just throw things about and people just, accept the line, who can sink. We don't do that anymore. We are very, very determined. Our minds are open. We read a lot. We know what is happening. At a point, you guys said it was, US trade. Then you guys moved to tariff. Then you guys came to certain. I mean, you guys said the government wasn't spending. Now you guys are saying that you lay the foundation. That the reason why the city is appreciating, bro. How can I see Jimmy and Anna? How can I see a rule in the let's get serious. If you want to be a political party that will be taken seriously in the next years, get your ass down and go fix your party, bro. Go fix your communicators. Go fix the dent. Because as for the economy and the governance, you guys have no clue. You guys have no clue. You guys have no clue. Maybe go and see the NDC and lend their hands. Maybe the NDC, they have a certain hack. They have a certain trick. They know something that you guys don't know. So maybe go and see them and be like, oh, I told force and Charlie, the economy, they don't know. So make I enroll in your university. I told forces University of Economics and Common Sense. So you could take some notes and in the next foreseeable future, when you guys come to power, you can implement that. But don't never turn around and come and praise yourself about solving an issue. You never solved an issue. You actually sent us 1,000 years back. You messed up the country on all fronts. We don't even want to talk about corruption and all that. So please, Bawumia, spare us all this. We don't want that. Respect yourself, bro. With the respect, to respect is there in your corner. But if you have any speeches to go and make outside, go and lie to the people and come back. But in Ghana, we know who you are. We know who you are. We know you. And we know your records. And we know that you are not good enough economically, governance-wise. We know you are just not the guy for the job. So don't go there and go and whitewash yourself. And in the MPP right now, I don't even see any viable candidate. Any person who is good enough. So if Bawumia is the best of the best in the MPP, just imagine. I had a good. And lastly, we woke up on Friday morning and we realized that there's a news circulating that Chairman Wontumi and Kwadwo Sheldon of the MPP, has his home has been raided by some security apparatus. Apparently, there's a news article in My Joy online which linked the whole raiding to the fact that um Chairman Wontumi is into illegal mining with the Akonta mining and all that, right? And they believe that he has desecrated our forest reserves. He had, destroyed water bodies through his mining. He has not, respected, you know, the rules and regulations that govern responsible mining. So in a way, what he has done to our forest reserve wasn't the best, so they had to go for him. I mean, they want to ascertain whether indeed, he was into responsible mining or he was into illegal mining. Because some years back or some months back, Chairman to me was actually on radio or television. I don't know, on his, media channel, and he was showing gold. He was displaying raw gold, and he said it came from his mining. And he even dared any president. He dared Muhammad, and Muhammad could never do anything to him. He's untouchable and all that, right? When NDC came into power, they realized that our forest reserve, which Nana Akufo-Addo passed an LI to allow people to mine in our forest reserves, right? They were able to allocate some of the reserves to Akonta mining, which is owned by Chema Wontumi. And they went into deep, deep, deeper galamsey, right? A mining, company that's supposed to be responsible. They weren't responsible at all. Instead of mining responsibly, they were actually doing raw, undiluted, unregulated galamsey. And me, I don't even understand why our forest reserve was actually allowed to be destroyed because of parochial interest. Why did the Kufado even do that? Why did you sign an airline to allow people to mine in our forest reserve? It is a forest reserve for not crying out loud. Like it is a forest reserve. A forest reserve is supposed not to be touched. And what even breaks my heart is that when you look at the forest reserve and the people that were allowed into the forest, they were all linked to the MPP, MPP big men, MPP foot soldiers, MPP chairman, and they were allowed to mine in our forest reserves and destroy everything. So I don't think anybody out there should think that Jemawoon to me is being witch hunted. And in the first place, if you're not even a witch, would you be hunted? Witches are hunted, so maybe it's probably a witch. It's probably a witch, so he needs to be hunted. Please, the whole Galamsey thing. Anytime I see people, I mean, crying about Galamsey, I feel like yo, they will just arrest a couple of people, but the real Galamsey kingpins, they are behind. They are behind, and in my heart of hearts, I believe that if Chemawoon to me is actually, found guilty of Galamsey, that would just be the game changer. If Chemawoon to me is found guilty of Galamsey and his whole Galamsey thing and his whole mining, whatever he seized and he stopped from doing the whole Galamsey thing, that will be the end of Galamsey. Because that is where it actually starts from. That's where it actually starts from. So yeah, the videos are all over where Chemawoon to me is crying. Jamawoon to me is actually crying, calling God to come and help him. Jamawoon to me. Jamawoon said he had all the power in the world. Like Muhammad cannot even enter Ashanti region without his notice. He's untouchable. He's beyond reproach. He's so powerful that he could actually turn the elections upside down. He was beating his chest. Now he's hiding in his kitchen and calling people to actually come and help him. Ghanaians, me and you to come and help him. Yeah, bro. Now, did you see the mansion that Chimawuntumi lives in? It's a multi-million-dollar mansion, bro. That's what you get from doing Galamsey. That's what you get from mining. But somewhere in the past 8 years, people were able to mine and take everything for themselves. No accountability, nothing. They didn't pay anything to the state. They took everything for themselves. So please, whether you belong to the NPP or not, let the system work. Let the system work. If Chemawun to me is actually not guilty, he will be found not guilty. He will be allowed to go. But if he is found guilty, the law should deal with him. Galamsey needs to end. And if people like Chemawun to me are found to be behind Galamsey, I beg, that should just be, the last straw. That should be the last straw. So I beg, make nobody can day here they talk say, make you live out, maybe rich hunting. Never be rich hunting. Galamsey needs to come to an end. And me, I don't support the whole, raiding thing. But me, I've been a victim of kidnapping. People be out there and be like, Bongo was never kidnapped. Bro, what are you talking about? You guys have never experienced anything like that. Like, you'll not be on social media and be saying bullshit. You are blindfolded. You are handcuffed. You are pushed into a car. You are being beaten in the car. You are taken to a basement. You don't know what is even around. You don't know what is happening to you. You don't know. Bro, that was not even raiding. That was pure kidnapping. And we were not even into Galamsey. We were just speaking our minds. We were demanding the best for the people. But we were seen as state enemies. We were seen as state enemies. But the people who are actually, fleecing the pairs, stealing from us, looting our resources, nobody is even going after them. And when we send, security apparatus after one or two people, you guys are saying, what? Huh? What are you guys saying? That's a rich hand, bro. Yeah, I know the country does not belong to anybody. On critique of the week, we pay attention to all the tiny details and we call a spade a spade. On this show, we choose conviction over convenience. I'm out.